You know, Ryan, people ask us all the time, you know, should I get a big gun, a little gun for concealed carry? Ultimately, what happens is we end up with more than one for a really good reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've said it numerous times that your concealed carry gun, your choice, is a compromise.
Sure. Well, and you're dressed one way, I'm dressed another way. We live in a part of the world where it gets hot in the summer. We're going to dress differently then than we do in the winter. And the ability to conceal a gun for concealed carry varies depending on what you're wearing.
Well, absolutely. And I tend to, you know, some people like to argue carry the same way, the same gun every time, all the time. But that's not really how you dress.
No.
I mean, you're not going to be able to conceal that same gun the same way all the time, every time. So I don't know if that's really realistic to say I'm going to carry the same gun, you know, 365 days a year, unless maybe it's a really small gun.
Right, that's true.
But you know, I kind of have the attitude of if I'm wearing a jacket or big clothes and stuff in the winter, I could kind of take advantage of that and wear a little bit bigger gun that maybe holds more ammo or is a more comfortable gun to shoot.
Easier to shoot. Yep.
You know, I'd rather have that all the time. But in the summer, when I'm just wearing a t-shirt, I can't do that. So, I mean, the way I'm wearing this is a Springfield Armory XDS, and it's in a CompTech holster.
Now, normally you would just pull that polo out and drape it over the gun.
Normally just wear it untucked, and it just disappears. It's
gone.
Fine. You know, it's a very short package. Doesn't stick out very much at
lays
all.
flat, it gets, you got it just back behind the point of your hip.
Exactly, just behind the point of the hip.
Because if you stick it out here, the butt sticks out and it'll kind of print.
It kind of comes this way, but this way it starts to lay against my back, my side a little bit, which works really well. And you know, this is a pretty small package, and then it's easy to carry all day.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wearing a cover garment,
I got a cover garment, I got a little sweater vest like this. So you pull this back. Now I've got a full-size range officer Springfield 1911. I mean, that's pretty sweet. You can make that thing disappear with your cover garment. One of the things you got to watch out for, it's a tip here, if you got a cover garment, when you're reholstering, get it out of the way because you do not want it getting hung up in your holster coming in. But with this, you can cover up a lot. Now let me show you a little trick for your cover garment. I just grabbed an extra magazine and threw it in the pocket. Now I've got a little bit of weight in there, so when you're going to draw, you swing it back and it gets out of the way.
Yeah.
So you've got some momentum that comes back, so when you're reaching for it, you can draw.
Yeah, I'll put my car keys in that pocket and zip them up so they don't fall out. Right. It just gives you a little weight.
You know, and a lot of people would say, well, you can't carry a full-size 1911. Well, you know you can, because when you've got this, you actually have a good-sized holster. You can wear a good belt, a good-sized holster, and something like this range officer is actually a really nice concealed carry gun too.
Yeah, and that CompTech really kind of hugs your body. It's technically it's an outside the waistband holster, but it really kind of hugs your body.
Yeah, and you can get away with it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And people will talk about there are other options, belly bands, ankle. You know, I prefer just to have it in the same place all the time. I prefer this is more accessible to me on my hip. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Well, and this way when you sit down, it's still pointing in a safe direction. Unlike some of the strange little holster rigs where they might be pointing out. You know, it's like the typical, the under the shoulder holster pointing to the back. That way it's pointing at everybody behind you.
Yeah.
When you turn like that. Not safe. I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you probably are going to need multiple holsters. You're probably going to need maybe multiple guns. And it just depends, especially if you're going to be a person who says, I'm going to carry every day. And, you know, which I definitely agree with.
Yeah, well, if you're going to get comfortable with it, you got to do it all the time.
Yeah. Let's shoot.
All right.